What's up, guys? Chris here from Mainly Mesh. Got part 2 of our 2-part review. When I say the full stick review. What's up, guys? Chris here from Mainly Mesh. Have the second half of this full stick review. This is kind of the gamer I've been using for about 2 or 3 weeks, testing out some new products. So on the top half, I had Thrown Fiber. Click here for the review in the Maverick Optic U-head. But what I really wanted to talk about today is this Aero Falcon shaft, which is a very interesting, really revolutionary new American-made carbon fiber shaft from Aero Lacrosse. This is a pre-release model, but you can check out the link in the bio for their Kickstarter. Absolutely take part in it, as I will explain why you should. So, the Aero Falcon shaft. Aero Lacrosse has been kind of teasing Instagram for a long time. I think the first I ever saw of them, they were teasing kind of a 100-gram shaft, so a full 30 grams or a full ounce lighter than a String King metal. And I remember Jeff, my man Jeff, reached out to me, who is a really awesome kid who started this whole idea in this company. High school kid, really passionate about what he's doing. And you know, I wasn't really sure. Carbon fiber is a pretty tricky material. And to have a high school kid kind of reach out and be like, oh, I've got a 100-gram shaft. I was like, well, you know, I have my doubts, and I wanted to kind of see where things went. And he reached out again, was like, yeah, we've obviously been having a few little strength issues, so we wanted to come back and work on things a little bit more. And I didn't hear from him for a while, and I was pretty bummed because I didn't really want that idea to go to waste. But when he came back, he reached out again. They sent me over one of their new Aero Falcon shafts. He basically teamed up with an incredible engineer out of New Hampshire who did some contracting for the military. And basically what this is now an 129-gram shaft. So they added about an ounce to get it to a nice strength point. They didn't want to come in with something that was going to break a lot. They wanted to have, you know, a lot of strength, and then they can kind of whittle it down from there. So it is the lightest shaft currently available, edged the String King metal by 1 gram. But what's really special about this is, although this is an 130-gram carbon fiber shaft, this shaft is not hollow. So every other carbon fiber shaft we sell, whether it's the ECD Carbon, Epic Firefly, Epic Dragonfly, the True Temper shafts, the Redline shafts, they've all been hollow. They might have a foam filling at the very top of it, just so you don't delaminate the stick when you're drilling into it, or like the Alpha shafts, they're double hole, or they're double filled. This is filled all the way through, and it's a proprietary material in the middle. So for lack of a better word, we'll call it a foam. Basically, this was a technology that was designed for the military, for the nose caps and the tail flaps, I believe, of a plane carrying really valuable equipment that they couldn't have be damaged, but it needed to be super light and super strong. So what they did is they have this carbon fiber wrap, essentially, aligned at a 45-degree angle, like you've heard with Epic's advanced carbon layering system. So that 45-degree angle really optimizes the strength on the outer layers, but then having it solid with this foam all the way on the inside. If you check out some of Cascade's recent posts about their Pour-On XRD foam and how it distributes and redistributes force and impact onto the shaft, imagine having that solid shaft all the way through. When you're having these direct force impacts, that foam in the middle is actually dispersing the force all the way through the shaft. So it's kind of like what we talked about with shaft concavity on one of those Whiteboard Wednesdays with the shape of the shaft, but now it's not only the shape of the shaft, it's also that it's solid all the way through. So if you did watch our Break It series test and you were like, wow, I was really surprised that wood lasted as long as it did, for that specific of a test, which, as I've said before, I want to reiterate, is not the best lacrosse-specific test for how durable shafts are. For that specific test, a solid shaft is going to do a lot better than any sort of shaft with a specific concavity that's hollow all the way through. So having this 130-gram, 129-gram carbon fiber shaft with a filling in the middle actually pushes the strength up of the shaft kind of more into your standard carbon fiber range, even around the levels of the Dragonfly and stuff. So this, in theory, I haven't beaten the heck out of it until it breaks. I'm going to be sending it out to my man here who is the shaft destroyer, and we're going to see how long it takes for him to get through this thing. But now you're looking at a shaft as light as the String King metal, made in the USA. The shaft is super stiff, so it plays much more like a metal than a carbon fiber, but it has that kind of vibration dampening effect that a wood shaft has because it's a solid material. Now you've got that shaft that's actually as strong as your standard carbon fiber, if not even more so. So this, to me, represents the next level of carbon fiber, or at least one aspect of that. Or now we're getting into the ultralight range that you can't get out of an alloy shaft because the wall thickness has to go so thin. So this is really what the String King metal could have been, in my opinion, if you go carbon fiber. It just took, someone saying, hey, why can't we fill this, instead of just keeping it hollow, and not being afraid to price out the best materials on the market to really accomplish that job. So as far as the Kickstarter goes, I'm going to take you through the Kickstarter, then I'll take you through a few of the aesthetics, because I think that 130 gram and the strength description should be good enough. For the Kickstarter, these are going to retail at $160. So that is the priciest shaft we would be selling for sure. But if you hop onto their Kickstarter right now, they've been slowly chipping away at some kind of discounted pricings. So I believe they've sold out of the $85 mark and maybe the $110 shaft mark. But if you check out their Kickstarter now, you can grab one of these for at least $120. Then the next step up is $130, and you basically chip your way up until they're at that retail price. So snag one of these on their Kickstarter. They're going to release in June or July. Snag one now at this discounted price. They're going to have a 6-month warranty, just so you can kind of be the first one to have this technology. If you were disappointed with the String King metal and you really wanted an 130 gram shaft that would last, this is your guy. It's made in the US. It's really incredible, and I know there's a price discrepancy, but if you hop on their Kickstarter, you're going to be able to access this product at something that isn't too far off that $100 price point. As for the aesthetics, I love this Aero Falcon look. They display their weave in full. So you can see all the gorgeous carbon fiber weave. They've got the Made in America on the other side, and then they have a really cool grip concept as well, running along the back side of the shaft. So what's interesting about this is when I think of grip all the way around the shaft. This just lays underneath on the bottom where your fingertips sit. When I picked it up, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Why have we never done this? Because usually when you're adding, so this is actually molded in to the wrap of the carbon fiber. So it's molded in. It should last longer than your typical sandpaper feel. It's got a really nice kind of grip finish, like we've talked about before. Really thin, shouldn't wear down the gloves that much. But since it's only on the bottom, you're not wearing out your palms at all. When you're switching hands, actually, if you look at the way you switch hands, usually that sliding motion, your hands on the top side of the shaft compared to the bottom side of the shaft. So you can actually change hands pretty quickly if that's something you believe in, having a slick shaft to change your hands in, but still have that grip when you need it in your fingertips. So it's a really, really clever idea. This runs up the whole length of the shaft. They've talked about maybe offering just on the bottom, in the middle section, in the top section. So leave any comments below if you guys think that the grip on a shaft should only be in the bottom or the top half. Anything you think. Just really, really, really cool product. This is about as excited for a shaft as I've really ever been. This is next level stuff. It's integrating all sorts of different physical mechanics and things that, I'm kind of kicking myself for not thinking about it a little bit before. It's, the solid thing is why I loved wood. The carbon fiber is obviously why I love carbon fiber. It's got that stiff feel, which is what people love for a really light shaft. Amazing, amazing product, amazing new company. Please sponsor their Kickstarter. Let's see these guys hit the market strong. Snag one of these shafts while you still can. Let us know if you'd like us to carry it. We're gonna try our best. They're mostly gonna be going to direct to consumer, but we'll see what we can do. Thanks so much to Jim and Jeff for sending this guy over. I will definitely be in touch. I'll catch you guys next time.